Joining us now to discuss tonight's primary is the president and CEO of the San Diego Regional Chamber of Commerce, Chris Cate, and San Diego County Supervisor Paloma Aguirre. Thank you both for joining us late on this election night. And I'm going to start with you, Chris, because we just heard from Steve Hilton. And let's look at this. He's definitely headed toward November. Right. A British political consultant, and he was saying it again tonight. He's a plan of change, and he said you haven't seen anything yet. What has resonated with the voters that he has gotten this far?
I think there's just definitely a disenchantment with the status quo, and that works for incumbents all the way down, where folks are just feeling that status quo is not working for them. And you're seeing that in a lot of the polling as well, too, leading up to today, where folks were thinking that all levels of government are on the wrong track and they're going in the wrong direction. So I think Steve Hilton, along with other candidates up and down the ballot, are tapping into that frustration with the current establishment and how government is working for them. The folks that are tapping that best, I think, have the best opportunity to win in November.
And Paloma, what do you think Javier Becerra needs to do to kind of counter that and act like he's the man for change as well?
Well, first and foremost, I think he needs to consolidate the vote, right? So we had a number of different Democratic candidates. So at some point, once this is all finalized, they're going to coalesce behind him. And he's demonstrated the ability to do that when he consolidated the vote that Swalwell had at a certain point. So to your question about what sets him apart, it's experience. He brings a lot of experience from having been Attorney General. He demonstrated he's able to counter the Trump agenda, fight back, and he brings also national level experience by having worked with President Biden. So I think that is resonating with people, and it's also a factor of excitement, right? I mean, technically he would be, in modern time, the first Latino governor of a state that has a very sizable Hispanic Latino population. So I think there's a lot of factors that are in his favor. And, we said this earlier in the segment, we have a Democratic majority, almost 2-1 here in the state. So it's very likely that it'll be Governor Becerra in the fall.
Chris, I do have to ask you, because any Republican candidate going forward will face the headwinds. He'll be hit with Iran. He'll be hit with maybe Jeffrey Epstein. They try to tie the MAGA in a negative connotation. How does he fight that?
Absolutely, and Supervisor Aguirre is correct. I mean, the Republicans do have an uphill battle from a registration advantage. We haven't had a constitutional officer in decades at the state, so there's going to be a lot of things to overcome to get there, and I think Hilton's going to have to showcase why he's different and maybe not aligned so much with the national agenda, the national Republican brand and the party, and what can he do for California that's different than a trajectory that maybe others will try to tie to Trump. So I think that's going to be the path to do it. It's going to be definitely going to be an uphill battle because of the registration disadvantage that Republicans have, and there have been crazier stories in politics. So, but obviously we'll see in November.
Yeah, people are definitely watching. I'm going to ask you both, but really, what has the biggest impact on voters in your mind going into November?
Obviously, cost of living and affordability is the #1 issue by and large, up and down, whether you're talking Republicans, Democrats, Independents. And as I mentioned earlier, that just disdain for status quo. And I think you saw it here locally with Measure A, as an example, which is a citywide measure that was trounced today. And I think people are frustrated with being asked for more taxes and fees, even though it may not necessarily go to them. They're just disenfranchised with where the money is going and how it's being spent on their behalf. And I think you saw that with Measure A tonight.
What do you think the biggest impact will be that people will really vote on issues?
Cost of living and what they're seeing and experiencing every day. They're struggling to put food on the table, keep a roof over their head. We're being stripped of health care. We're being stripped of food for children because of this administration. So I think that's going to be top of mind for voters going into this fall election. And I'll just add that it was interesting. There was a poll that was ran recently of City of San Diego residents, and to your point, that was true, right? That's correct. It's disappointing with the status quo. But what I found interesting is when they were asked if they would favor billionaires and corporations being taxed, 55% approved, said yes. So, or favored that stance. So I think it's also a factor of people feel like they're not getting their fair share and their return on investment in their taxes, and especially big corporations and people who are ultra wealthy, which are very few in the state, are not paying their fair share. So I think that we'll see where this fall election goes, and I think that's a sentiment across the board.
And it's nice. Thank you both for coming in this evening. And it's great when we can all come together like we did tonight, and we all agree on what is important to voters and to residents and to all of us to give us the lives that we all want for the future. And we agree on that.
Yes.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
For your time.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Chris
you.
Kate, Paloma Aguirre, thank you.